Welcome to the Manifest with Ashley podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Vaughn. I'm a mindset specialist and intuitive business coach. On this podcast, we dive deep into the intricate realms of mindset and manifestation. Here we uncover the profound connections between our thoughts, beliefs, and reality, unraveling the secrets to unlocking our highest potential. So prepare yourself for a deep experience as we embark on this journey of personal and spiritual growth. So this week's podcast is all about attracting more money. I love this subject. I'm going to be discussing money all the time on my podcast because it is a huge part of my life purpose. I feel like my mission on earth is to really help beautiful souls overcome the poverty mindset, remove money blocks, and attract so much money into their life because money is a tool to do beautiful things with, and it enhances our experience here on earth. And the more money we have, the more good we can do. So if you have money blocks and you're interested in learning so much more about manifesting money, definitely tune into my podcast every week. I will teach you so much. All right, so let's dive into 5 ways to attract more money. So number 1, decide exactly how much money you want to align with every month. And I'm careful not to say I don't like to say how much money you're going to make because that limits you to only making money from a job. And trust me, I have learned from this process, the universe has endless ways to align you with money. And when you think it can only come from work, that is a very limited belief, and that will make your reality match that belief that you actually have to work to obtain all this money, and you don't. The universe really has endless ways to send it to you. So number 1, decide exactly how much money you want to align with every month. You will be surprised how fast money will come to you once you make a solid decision on how much you want. When we are undecided, then the universe can't read our signals if we're all over the place. If we have a very strong signal, we know exactly what it is that we want, it's much easier for the universe to deliver it. Whatever that number is, whatever it is that you decide you want to align with every month, make sure that number really feels aligned. This is a very important part of manifesting, is when it feels aligned, there's some excitement that comes with that really helps you bring the manifestation in. There was a while where maybe 9 months where I just couldn't meet my money goal. And I sat down and really asked myself, why have you not manifested this amount of money? And the reason was the amount of money I was asking for wasn't aligned and I wasn't excited about it. So I actually doubled that amount in my head and I started writing it down, visualizing it and scripting how I had it and how excited I was to have it. And 7 weeks later, I manifested that amount, the amount that I had doubled. So isn't it crazy? I wasn't able to manifest half of that for over 9 months. But once I doubled it and got excited and felt the energy of it, I had it 7 weeks later. So make sure that the amount you want feels aligned and feels exciting to you, but it's not so big that you don't actually believe it can become your reality. So step number 2, decide how you're going to spend it. Start to journal about all of the ways in which you are going to spend, save, invest this money. What all are you going to do with it? Who are you going to help with it? You could go on and on and on when it comes to scripting about things like this. So focus on it every day. Write down, just even for a few minutes, I'm so happy and grateful that I now have X amount of money and I can do this and that every month. I can help so-and-so every month. Dive deep into it and feel the energy of it, feel the excitement of how you're going to spend it, and do this often. So the third step is I want you to really start to work on your personal relationship to money, the energy of money. Think of it as money having a soul, and you need to build this very beautiful and powerful relationship with money that helps you attract it with ease, grace, and flow. Years ago, I read the book You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. And in that book, she suggested writing a letter to money. And at first it sounded silly, but I did it. And I still do it to this day. And I have all of my coaching clients do it. It's just a very powerful exercise to start to heal your relationship with money and really create this beautiful relationship with it. Because if you have negative thoughts, beliefs, and emotions around money, those are blocks. That is what is keeping it away from you. You need to identify those, and by working on your relationship with money, those will all come up so that you can dismantle them and transmute them into positive thoughts, beliefs, and emotions, helping you to create so much more of it. So start writing these letters to money. Start even taking walks and talking to money. I started this spring of this year, 2023. I started to talk to money on my morning walks for about the first 10 to 15 minutes, just telling it, I'm so excited knowing that so much more of you is flowing into my existence and that I'm able to do these beautiful things with it and I'm able to help these people. And I love knowing that the more of you that flows into my life, the more good that I'm going to do just by spending this time with money. You could even do this during meditations, whatever. You're just working on your relationship with money. You are healing it. You are taking it from a place where there were blocks to a place where it's just beautiful, loving energy. And it takes time. I did this for months before I felt like the major energy shifts take place in my life. But it's so worth it because everything is energy. And if you want to manifest a lot more money, you gotta have beautiful energy around it. So writing letters with it, to it, talking to it, walking with it, meditating with it, all of these things are going to help you get very clear on how you feel about money, how you need to feel about money, and what blocks need removed so that you can allow it to flow in so easily. So here's a personal story of how powerful it is when you really start to work on your relationship with money on a personal level. So at the beginning of this year, I started to ask questions to money, like, what are my biggest blocks? Like, even though I'm manifesting a lot of money, I still know we could always be manifesting more, and I'm always trying to get to the next level. So I started to ask, what are my main money blocks? What can I work on? And then I was meditating one night, and clear as day, I heard, you still don't trust that it's going to come back when you spend it. And I was like, what? Like, first of all, it was so cool. I've heard my higher self, God, whatever you want to call it, speak to me so many times in my lifetime, but never about money. So it was super cool because I'm writing this book on overcoming the poverty mindset and building a beautiful relationship with money. And for me to get intuitive guidance about money and how to feel when we spend it, like, that was just super empowering to me. It let me know that all of this work that I'm doing, building this beautiful relationship with money, it's working. And the universe actually has my back and is here to whisper these amazing, powerful things to me to help me get to the next level. So that message, clearly said, you still don't feel comfortable spending money. You don't feel like it's coming back. So that was so powerful for me to hear, because then I knew I have the ability to believe that every dollar I spend comes back to me multiplied. So that way I feel safe spending. And that's a whole different vibe to be in, because I had always been nervous to spend because I grew up poor. So, we all have different issues around money based on the belief systems that we have and how we grew up and things like that. So for me, this one was huge because I was already making a lot of money, but I was still nervous to spend it. So I needed to hear that. I needed money to connect with me in that way. I needed the universe to come through and say, this is exactly what you need to work on. So don't underestimate the power of you building up your relationship with money and actually being able to receive intuitive guidance that helps you overcome these blocks and start to manifest a lot more money. And I know that these stories might sound weird to people, but this is my podcast and this is my truth. And these are the experiences that I've had that I want to share with you guys. If I meditate and I hear guidance about money, that's powerful. That is something that needs to be shared. And the message for me applies to you guys as well. So if you're nervous to spend money, that's a belief that you need to work on, because we can choose to have the belief that all of the money we spend comes back, and the universe will deliver that to us because we create our reality. All right, so let's move on to number 4. Number 4 is feel into what it feels like to make that specific amount of money. So I want to tell you guys this. I work with coaching clients who, some of them make $1,000 a month. Some of them make $5,000 to $7,000 a month. Some of them make $20,000 a month. Some of them make $100,000 a month, even $100,000 a week. And I've also had sessions with people who make millions. And I've even had a couple of talks with billionaires. And let me tell you, the energy of each different amount of money, it's so different. You know, someone who makes $5,000 a month is so different than somebody who makes $100,000 a month. So I really pay attention to this because this is fascinating to me. I love to watch how they think about money, how they feel about money, and because that's what's creating their experience. So it is extremely powerful for you to sit and think, if you want to make $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Think about, what does that amount of money a month actually feel like? Tune in to that amount every night before bed. Just sit there for 10 minutes thinking, okay, I make $20,000 a month. This is what it feels like. It's a different vibration than where you are right now. So the more you focus on what that feels like, the more you become aware of how different it is than how you feel right now. And you just start to really focus on that new feeling of that bigger amount of money. And then eventually you've tuned into it enough that that becomes your reality. It's a very powerful way to manifest it. So just start to feel into what that exact amount of money feels like for you. Now, number 5, this is the last step. I want you to not at all care about how the money comes in. There was a month when I wanted to manifest a specific amount of money. I was doing all the things. I was so focused on making that amount of money. I was very excited about it. My energy was fantastic. I was just like on this money high all month. And I had really let go of the thought that it needs to come from my business. I was like, you know what, universe, surprise me. Bring it in however you want. As long as it comes from positive sources that make me happy, because that is something I always say. I always want money to come from something positive. So I just kept telling the universe, surprise me, bring it however you want. And not only did I make that much money in that month, I actually went $6,000 over, and it came from so many random, just all of these different events took place to give me this money. I also had, during meditation, I had ideas that came up that immediately helped me to like create workshops and stuff like that pulled in all the money. The universe will handle how the money comes in if you don't try to limit it to coming from just one or two things. So be completely wide open on how it comes. Let the universe do its job. It has multiple ways to align you with everything you want. Stop worrying about how it comes in. All right, y'all. So that was my 5 steps on how to attract more money. This is just my second podcast, so I know I'm not perfect yet, but I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope I'm teaching you some very powerful things, and I hope that after hearing this podcast, you begin to manifest a lot more money.